And we're live. Okay, getting much better at this. All right, put this over here. I think I'm live. Live video ended? No, it's still going. All right. Okay, we're still here. Okay. Welcome to the Live at 5, everybody. I'm Janine Troutman, the founder of Money Your Soul, and this is the Live at 5. I go live every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time to break down the protocol and give you bits and pieces and eventually learning the entire thing. This is one of my favorite topics because I think it's the most important one. And in the beginning of this process, when I started Minding Your Soul, I didn't focus on the peaks and the valleys and understanding really what happens when you start the protocol if you go too fast. And the more programs, the 4-month coaching programs, the more programs that I do, at the end of each program, I always ask, okay, so what is something that you wish you would have learned earlier in the program? So I'm always looking to evolve the program and make sure it's working for everybody. And all the time, everyone says more focus on the peaks and the valleys and understanding what happens, because it really is, excuse my language, it really is a mind fuck. When you go into a valley and it is from the healing, it is from healing too fast, a valley feels just like an exacerbation. So here you are, listening to this chick on Facebook or the medical medium, and you're like, oh great, I'm going worse. I should have listened to the neurologist. I should have did. And really what's happening is you're healing just a little too fast, and you have to back it off. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. The importance of the peaks and valleys, and how to do this protocol, why it's so important to do it in chunks and take it step by step by step, because I feel like in this group there's so many badasses and people who get described as Wonder Woman and people who go balls to the wall and they're real hustlers and they're like, all right, this is going to heal me. Okay, great. This makes sense. Let's do it. And just like me in the beginning, I went too fast. I was so excited to find information that finally made sense to me that I did everything all at once. And I didn't have the language to understand what was happening to my body, but I was going into a valley. I had gone into a peak and right away went right into a valley because I didn't know to slow down. Because honestly, my personality was, I'm not going to slow down. Slowing down, I'm not going to slow down. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to force my body into this because I've been sick way too long and I want this way too bad. And I learned the hard way. I learned everything the hard way. I learned the hard way that you really do. You have to slow down, because that is what's going to actually accelerate your healing, make the process nicer. And then I remember thinking, I don't need the process to be nicer. I just need to be healed. You will heal quicker if you slow down. And we're going to talk about exactly what that means, slowing down. So thank you for saying hi as you're jumping on. I really appreciate that. I love to see that I'm actually talking to people. It makes this a lot better. So far, let's see, who do we have on? Oh, Rhonda, Sabrina, Sarah, Ginger. Oh, Ginger, it's good to see you on here. I'm glad you made it. Stephanie's on here, and Quinn. Hello, Quinn. It's good to see you too. I can't see who else is up there. So let me just go into the group so that, because this is on my computer and it's just easier to see everybody and all the comments. Perfect. Let me lower the volume every single time I do this. All right, so the first thing, who's that old? Oh, JC. Oh, that's so funny. JC, I have you pinned in my messages from like 5 months ago. And I've been meaning to follow up with you because you said reach out to me during, when the next program gets started. And I'm so sorry. The next program started, but I'm going to reach out to you. I'm going to text you. It's so funny you're on here and I just saw your name. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're on here. Thank you. Hi, Flora. It's nice to see you. All right. Wanda's on here. Okay. Suzanne. This is amazing. Oh, Stephanie, I love you. I haven't even gotten started yet. And she's like, hi, Janine, this is amazing. I love you guys. It's such great energy. And Keisha, Jody, hi. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to do the protocol, how to break it down into chunks, and then we're also going to talk about the signals, the detours, and why you are able to walk again when doctors are like, oh, once the damage is done. I don't know why they say that, because your body, just like Trevor says in the MS gym, your body doesn't have just one plan A, right? To get the signal from the brain down to the toes. It doesn't have a plan A, and then if plan A doesn't work, oh, well, guess you're not walking again. Unless, the nerves have been severed. If you were in an accident, obviously, it doesn't have a detour to take. But your body's always going to take a plan B, a plan C, a plan D. However, It's not going to be able to create the detour around the scar if you don't have the energy to do that. So right now I have an existing client who she'd healed herself. She healed all of her symptoms, but when she was still using the walker, she's like, I just don't have the energy to do it. We had to tweak some of her diet and add more fruits and vegetables. As crazy simple as that sounds, that's what it was. The fruits, the vegetables, and the water. I'll tell you what, I know it's crazy. You know, it's all in the produce aisle. Everything that's going to heal this is in the produce section of your grocery store. I know it pissed me off too in the beginning when I realized that. All the things that we're told over the years about, oh, there's no cure, and it's in the produce aisle. There is a cure. Anyway, all right, so the way you do this protocol, we just got done with the workshop and we learned the entire protocol, right? And it's very easy for us to say, okay, well, that part's going to be easy. Let me start with that first. And let me do this. And you know what? Let me do all of it. Don't do all of it at one time. I need you to start. Well, I don't need you to, but if you want to heal and do it gently and do it quickly without setting yourself back, because you don't want to go 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, and then 2 steps forward and then 4 steps back. You don't want to do that. You have to give your body the tools and the resources to heal and to fight the virus. Now, before we get into that, we have to know that the virus is causing our symptoms. We already know that. But the dead virus, once we start killing the virus, which celery juice does on contact, and you stop feeding the virus. So we starve, we kill, we detox. We starve the virus, we kill the virus with our immune system, and then we detox it out of our body. As you're starving and killing the virus, the dead virus, the corpse of the virus, is a neurotoxin and a dermatoxin. When you overwhelm your bloodstream, when you overwhelm your lymphatic system with the dead virus, your body's like, it requires a lot of energy to get all this stuff out. My God, this is so much, especially in the beginning when the virus is still replicating. It hasn't fully died all the way. So the live virus is still replicating, and you have the dead virus that you're killing. Your body gets overwhelmed very quickly, and it's exhausting, and it can feel like an exacerbation, not just from the increased fatigue, but from either skin or brain fog or whatever neurological conditions you already have. They're going to be exacerbated if you overwhelm your body with the corpse of the virus, because the corpse of the virus is a neurotoxin and a dermatoxin. Depending on what concoction of heavy metals that you have inside your body, that's what's going to give you the neurological symptoms that you have that are going to be different from someone else who has the MS label. So understand that, well, just because this isn't a common MS symptom and I have it doesn't mean anything. All it means is that you have a specific recipe of heavy metals in your body. Once the virus feeds on the heavy metals, its waste matter is now supercharged with those heavy metals. And that's actually another reason why the signals aren't getting through. Not just the scars, the lesions, or a scary word for scars. It's not just the lesions. It's also the poop, the waste matter, the supercharged waste matter of the virus. So that's why we have this targeted attack on the virus, because you're not just dealing with the Epstein-Barr virus that's alive in your body. You're also dealing with the Epstein-Barr virus that you're killing in your body, and that corpse of a virus being a neurotoxin and a dermatoxin. Then you're dealing with the live virus that's pooped in your system and all the crap, the matter that is now supercharged with those heavy metals floating around inside of your body. So the virus, no matter what stage it's in, whether it's starving, whether it's dying, whether it's pooping, whether it's dead, it's all going to cause symptoms in your body, which is why we have to be so targeted on our attack of the virus, because it has multiple food sources, right? We learned not only is it gluten, dairy, and eggs that it feeds off of, but it also feeds off the heavy metals that are always in our body, always. But when we get the heavy metals down in our body, that's when the virus begins to starve. And eventually, your body is cleaned out. Yes, you're coming in contact with heavy metals every day, but we have a liver, we have kidneys, we have these detox systems already in place to wipe that out. It's just that we were never told that we need to give our organs some extra help to clean them out so that they can operate efficiently, so they can function properly. Once you get your body functioning properly, you really don't have to worry about the chemicals that you come in contact with. You do your part to make sure that you're not, bringing extra chemicals into your environment, like the fabric softeners and the laundry detergents and the perfumes and all the stuff that we know we're coating our body with. You do your part to make sure you're not putting extra chemicals into your environment on your skin. But know that you're always going to be coming in contact with heavy metals in the environment, outside, in the air. My God, they're falling from the sky. But it's okay. Our bodies can handle that. We just have to give our bodies the tools it needs to be able to function properly. So let's back up a bit. This targeted attack that we have on the virus, it has to be very specific because of all the ways that the virus can survive inside of our bodies. That's how this virus has been able to elude the medical industry for hundreds of years. I think the first scientist who discovered it is back in somewhere in the 1900s. I want to say 1920s, but it had been around for a while. So let's just say the 1900s is when the virus appeared. It has been hundreds of years, over 100 years, that the virus has been undetected by medical science. So it's been able to morph and adapt different strains to its environment. There's over 65 different strains of the Epstein-Barr virus. Each strain is going to react differently inside. So I might have one strain, you have a different strain, someone else has another strain, which is why MS has 1,000 different symptoms, right? And you go to the doctor and you go, "Doc, my eyes are hemorrhaging. They just won't stop bleeding." And he goes, "Oh, well, you have MS, so that's probably it." Everything is right under the MS umbrella. So this targeted attack that we have on the virus, we have to make sure that we're not doing too much to kill the virus at one time. It's a very targeted attack. We're very targeted. So when we begin to, what we do is, the protocol is starve, kill, detox. And we always start with the detox first because we need to get that going. We need to get our detox systems going so that it can handle the killing of the virus. So when you do the lemon water and the celery juice, you want to do that until you feel something. Not everyone's going to get diarrhea. That's an easy one. You get the diarrhea, you're like, okay, let me back off tomorrow. I don't want to do that again. But you're also going to feel a decline in your energy because of the amount of energy that it requires to remove that dead virus out of your body. Diarrhea is, I know this is going to sound weird, but diarrhea is great because when the celery juice finds the virus inside your gut lining, it has an exit, an immediate exit. It has a light at the end of the tunnel, the literal tunnel. And that's why you have diarrhea, because it kills it on contact and your body's like, holy shit, get this out of me. And it just goes right out. So if you don't get the diarrhea, that doesn't mean that the celery juice isn't finding the virus. It just means that it's not in your gut lining. And a lot of people who have that very healthy diet, the virus doesn't like your gut lining. It's too healthy. It's like, get me the hell out of here. Give me an organ. Lots of food going on in our organs. Let's just go there. And when we learn day 1 of the workshop, the 4 stages of the virus, it leaves your blood and it heads for an organ. Whatever organ it heads for, that's going to give you the collection of symptoms. That's going to lead you to the doctor, and then he's going to give you a label. He's going to slap a label on you. Whether it's going to be MS, if it's in your liver and your kidneys, your bladder, whether it's thyroidism, hypo, the virus made a run for your thyroid. It's either going to be IBS or Crohn's disease, depending on how severe the strain is, if it lives in your gut. So what we want to do is we want to kill the virus, but we want to do it in a way that our bodies can keep up with the getting rid of the corpse, of the dead virus. How do you know when your body is keeping up or when your body is overwhelmed? Your symptoms. And if not symptoms, then it's your fatigue level. Because the way healing goes, it's not linear. It's not like, and I'm sorry to say this, but it's not like you start healing and then the next day you're even better and the next day you're even better. It doesn't work like that. Unfortunately, no healing does. Mental, emotional healing. You have good days and you have your bad days. But when it comes to physical healing, especially when we're killing the virus inside of us, you're going to become very aware of your body and how you feel and your energy level, and you're going to be questioning everything, which is why this information is very important. The way we heal is, I start here, right? So this is your baseline of your energy. You're used to what your energy level is. You know how much you can do, how much you can't do. Here's your baseline. When you start drinking the lemon water and the celery juice, your energy level is going to go down because it requires so much energy for your body to remove that dead virus that you're killing. So your energy level starts to go down. This is called the valley. You don't want to go too far into that valley because it's going to take you that much longer and that much more energy to climb your way back out of it. So what you do is you want to go slow. You want to make sure that you're going like this and like this and like this and like this. And you want to go all the way down here, right? And then back up and then all the way down here and then back up. Because in 2 months, you're going to be like, Jeannie, I can't fucking do this. This is exhausting. And I'm going to be like, yeah, I know. That is exhausting. No one can do that. So when you start the protocol, you start only with the lemon water and the celery juice, and you stay there for weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I know you're going to be like, no, but I want to add more. No, don't do it yet. It's a process. You're going to start the lemon water and celery juice and stay there. You're either going to have diarrhea, you're going to have fatigue, you're going to have brain fog, but you're not going to go too deep into that. Maybe a day or two, maybe 3 or 4 days, depending. Everyone is different. Even though the protocol is the same for everyone has to do it differently, hence the coaching. So baseline energy here, you start the celery juice, maybe 1, maybe 2 days, and you're like, okay, I'm feeling it. You know what? She said to stop, I'm going to stop. And then you stop. You don't have to stop the lemon water. A lot of people aren't sensitive to the lemon water, but you know yourself, some people do have to stop the lemon water. It's all trial and error. All of our answers are in hindsight. So you decide, are you going to stop the lemon water and the celery juice, or maybe just the celery juice, right? So you're down here now, and then when you stop, you wait for your energy to come back up. And then you're going to start again, and you're going to watch your energy level go down, and then you're going to stop, and then you're going to let it come back up again. Each time it comes up, it's going to come up a little bit higher than the baseline that you started at. That's how the healing happens. So you go down into a valley and you go up into a peak. And sometimes you don't even feel those peaks, but trust me, the peak is always a little bit higher than that baseline that you started from. You don't want to go 2 weeks, right? Because then it's going to take you maybe 2-3 weeks to come back up again. So think about it. If trenches took only a couple of days to go in and come out of, and then you're starting the celery juice again, and then a couple of days of stopping and then starting again, imagine how much faster you can go along that healing journey without going, okay, I'm going to do 2 weeks on the celery juice. I'm not going to stop myself. You're going to fall into this valley, right? No energy, symptoms suck. And then you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to stop. Let me wait for my energy to come back up. And let's say it takes a week. Let's say it takes 2 weeks sometimes for that energy level to come back up to that higher. And you're like, my baseline only went up this much. And in the beginning, you barely even feel the higher baseline because it is so little. Think about it. It just took 2 weeks for you to go through here. When if you had just stopped right here and said, all right, let me wait for my energy to return and start feeling better, then it would only be a couple days before you felt this again. And that's how you want your healing to go. A little bit, little bit, little bit, because then you're going to keep on moving as you're going through the peaks and the valleys, and eventually your peaks are getting higher and higher, and you're mitigating that valley so that it doesn't go too low. Now, if you went into that deep trench, it's going to take you a week, 2 weeks to come back. And your peaks do not get higher. The deeper the trench, the higher the peak. That's not a thing. In fact, I think, and I've analyzed a couple hundred clients now. I don't think that the energy level, I know the energy level doesn't, like the peak doesn't correlate, the height of the peak does not correlate with the depth of the valley. Can't believe I just said that right. That's what was going on in my head. What happens is, I feel like when you go real deep into a valley, I feel like you come up to that baseline, that's it, and you don't go any higher. But if you just go down a little bit and allow yourself the break and then to return, that's when it goes up. So those peaks get higher and higher. So, all right, I feel like I'm repeating myself. So you get the point. You want to stop. Now, the reason why you do the lemon water and the celery juice and you go through those peaks and valleys until you understand exactly how it makes you feel and exactly how many days to do celery juice and how many ounces to increase it. Once you understand the peaks and the valleys and how celery juice affects you, makes you feel, Then after 3 weeks, a month, who knows, you'll know when it's ready. Then you incorporate in the heavy metal detox smoothie to the process. So then you're going to do the lemon water, the celery juice, the heavy metal detox smoothie. Now, you're still going to be going through peaks and valleys. But now you're going to know what's coming from the heavy metal and what's coming from the celery juice. Because if you started this all at the same time, the lemon water, the celery juice, the heavy metal detox smoothie, you wouldn't know what to take a break from. You wouldn't know what was causing what symptom. So then you would have to stop everything. And that slows down the healing process, because really, if you understood first what the celery juice was doing, then you would know, oh, it's the celery juice I need to take a break from. Okay, I know this feeling. I'm going to take a break from the celery juice and keep the healing from the heavy metal detox smoothie, because that's what's giving you the energy. Do you see how the attack on the virus is very targeted? Yes, we want to move through the healing process, but we want to know what to take a break from so that we don't overwhelm our body. And we want to know what to keep so that we can keep the healing benefits and properties of the heavy metal smoothie, and keep those while we're taking a break from the celery juice. And trust me, there's not a one size fits all for this. The protocol is the same for everybody, but the way you do the protocol is different for everybody. The peaks and the valleys, that's the number one concern when I'm coaching people, because I need to know exactly how you're feeling, and we need to talk about, this is a big one too. A lot of people are like, all right, I'm going to stop the celery juice for 3 days and then I'm going to start again. I'm like, nah, you're using your mind again. You have to listen to your body, not your mind. Your mind, your brain is telling you, you're going to stop for 3 days and then you're going to start again, because you need to keep going. You need to make sure that you heal and you don't stop for too long. That, you can't listen to that voice, okay? You want to listen to your body. Your body is what's going to tell you when to take a break and when to start again. When that energy returns, that's when you're going to start again. You have to learn, and really I feel like I'm talking to myself here. You have to learn, Janine, to listen to your body, not your mind. Because this is a really friggin' smart ass way of overriding what your body wants, because you want something so bad in your mind. But I have learned over the years from healing myself and the hundreds of clients that I've worked with, it is about going slower to go faster. I know it sounds crazy, but that's actually how it works. So, all right, hopefully that, let me see if there's any questions on the peaks and valleys, and then we're going to talk about the detours and why the detours. Once you know how your body heals, then you can start to watch for the signs and go, oh, yeah, look at that. And then that's where the motivation comes in. It's like when you start, remember when, you worked out, again, talking to myself because it's been a long time, and you finally start to see the results, you're like, oh, yeah, it's working. The more information you learn about this protocol and how to recognize the signs of healing and understand that what feels like an exacerbation is actually signs of you killing the virus, then when you start the celery juice and you're feeling that increased brain fog for maybe a day or so, you can go, die fucker, I feel it, you're dying, I know it, rather than going, oh shit, I think I'm having exacerbations, I don't have time for this, this is going to get worse, am I ever going to walk again? That's what would be going through my head. Once you know what killing the virus feels like, when you feel those exacerbation symptoms, then you're like, oh, it's working. I'm killing the virus. And that's a great feeling. That is a great feeling. Once we know that our bodies are not attacking itself, that's just absolutely fucking ridiculous. Your body has always been protecting you from this virus, always. And now that we can see the virus, we know that the virus is in there, and now that we have a targeted attack on it, this is very exciting to go through it, and our symptoms aren't scary anymore because we know what's causing them. Once we know what's causing them, we can kill it. We can kill the source. All right, let me check to see if there's any questions. Oh, I'm scrolling. There are questions. All right, cool. Michael, right? It's just not true that there's nothing you can do. There's always something you can do. Exactly, Michael. There's always something. There's always a way. There's always a way. And I remember saying that, my God, my whole life. Like, there's always a way. I just got to find it. Like, remember, is anyone like me where when they were kids, they would rearrange their room all the time? And I felt like if I can move the dresser an inch, I can move it across the room by myself. I would always say there's always a way, so that when I got diagnosed and they're like, oh, there is no way, you can't be healed, there is no cure, you're gonna end up in a wheelchair. I'm like, what do you mean there's no way? There's always a way. There's always a way. Took me a while to get there, but I finally figured out the way. They scared the shit out of me first. I went on the medication for a year. Because what else are you going to do? You're sitting in the office and they're telling you that you're going to go blind if you don't get on the medication, and there's nothing that they'll be able to do for you once you're blind. So we need to stick you with every steroid known to man and then put you on a shot every other day. Like when you have a 2-year-old and you're like, okay, sign me up, inject me with whatever. And then you gain the information, and then you learn, and then you start to trust your body, and that your body has been protecting you this entire time. All right, I got off on a tangent. Sorry about that. Okay, let me just see if there's any more questions. Oh, hey, Monica. Hello, Janine. All the beautiful power people. So glad to make this one. Regards from Switzerland. I love that. Well, hello from New Jersey. Doesn't sound as nice as Switzerland. Thanks for joining in. Stephanie says, my brother-in-law, Tony, is a chiropractor, and he does many types of therapies. I've been doing a therapy called Hockett's, which is a heavy metal detox. It's great because I can't do the cilantro. The Hockett is a chamber where I take all of my clothes off and sweat everything out of my system. That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, I would love that, actually. That sounds like a sauna. I'm going to look up Hockett. She put it in all caps, Hockett. I'm going to look that up. Stephanie, that's awesome. All right, Quinn says, fatigue level, oh my fucking goodness. I love you. I love you, Quinn. I have to force myself to exercise. So fucking tired. Okay, forcing yourself, yes, right? Sometimes we do have to power through, and sometimes we have to force ourselves to do shit that we don't want to do. I hear you. But also ask yourself more questions. What am I doing or not doing that is causing this or that can help this? So you look around at your diet and you say, okay, what am I putting inside of my body? Because our tired feeling, our fatigue is a direct link to how our immune system is doing. We know this to be true when we're talking about COVID, the flu, a common cold. Oh, I'm so run down, I'm getting a cold, I'm fighting something. We know this information. We have to apply it now to this virus because that's exactly it. When we get tired, it's a sign of our immune system's health. How is it doing? Is it attacking all the time? Like when I talk about heat intolerance, your body has been fighting a virus since before you were diagnosed, right? It's been fighting. It's been protecting you. It's been 24/7 trying to protect you from this virus. And then you get hot and you go, body, I need you to cool me down. This is way too hot. Your body, right? Your immune system, whoever that is responsible, is going, no, fucker, I am fighting a virus 24/7. I do not have time to cool you down. You're just going to have to deal with the heat right now because that's not going to kill you. And once you start healing and once you start killing the virus, your immune system goes, oh my God, thank you. I don't have to fight as hard. I got a whole shit ton of other things that I need to get done. Like now I can friggin' cool you off because I have the energy to do that. I have the resources to do that because I'm not fighting the virus 24/7. It's the same thing. So Quinn, I know you know this. I think I'm using your question to address anyone else who hasn't heard me say this before. If you are tired, your body is telling you something. It is telling you something. Did you do too much that day? What is too much? Should you be able to do more? How is your diet? Is your body fighting a virus? All of these questions. So I still get triggered by tired. So I get it. I still get triggered by tired because how many years every time I felt tired, I'm like, oh no, what is happening? My tired would lead right into an exacerbation, and that would last months. I would always say something's going to fall off, like an arm or a leg. I'd lose feeling in my arm or a leg. Still to this day, I've been healed over 10 years. Still to this day, when I get like bone tired, especially having a 1-year-old now, when I get bone tired, I'll go, oh no, what did I eat? Did I glutenise myself? Shit, am I getting symptoms? And it's not until my husband will talk me down off the ledge and be like, Janine, we have a fucking 1-year-old. We're exhausted. We're all exhausted. Or before we had Jackson, he would say, we've been raking the leaves for 8 hours. Of course you're exhausted. We all are. So I understand the tiredness. That is going to go away as you kill the virus and as your immune system finally gets a break from killing this virus. All right, so let's talk about, Victoria, why do you promote gluten-free products while most of your colleagues say there's too much chemicals in them and you should stay away from them? Oh, I love this question. Victoria, thank you for asking that. All right, so was it day 4? I think it was day 4 in the workshop. I did this graph. It was like a picture. And it had foods that feed the virus, foods that don't feed the virus. Obviously, foods that feed the virus you want to stay away from. Gluten, dairy, eggs, and heavy metals I put in that category of foods. So then at the bottom, it was foods that don't feed the virus. And I put a green, yellow, red. So the green, we know are the healing foods, the fruits, the vegetables, all those antioxidants. That's what's going to heal our bodies. And then there's the yellow. Those are the gluten-free foods that aren't going to heal you. They aren't going to help you. They're really just filler. They're not really doing much. And then those are the red foods where you don't really want to eat a ton of. And, you know, those are the stuff with like the chemical shit, the artificial flavors, artificial colors. You read the ingredient list and you're like, oh God, this sucks. You know, there's so much shit in here, but it says it's gluten-free. So maybe it's like a treat. So what I promote is you want to fill your diet, most of your diet. You want to be in that green, healthy, I'm feeding my body, I'm killing the virus, I'm starving the virus with all of those green foods. Those yellow foods, we live in a modern world, right? You're going to eat gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free processed foods. It's part of our lifestyle today. You don't want to eat a ton of them, but they are going to make it into your diet, you know? Sometimes you just need a friggin' sandwich. And then the red foods, you want to eat very, very sparingly. Like when I go to my mother's and she has something out, she's like, oh, I brought the label for you. I'll turn it over. And inside my head, I'm like, oh, that's pure shit, but I'll taste it. It's gluten-free. Those are the things that you want to sprinkle in. So remember, our bodies are absolutely designed to handle chemicals and toxins. They're designed to handle them. We don't have to fear them. But what we do have to do is give our body the tools, one, to clean out the buildup since all these years of non-education, right? The buildup of the crap inside of our bodies so that it can work efficiently and that it can work and function properly. So always fill your diet with the green, the fruits and the vegetables and the healthy fats and the healthy proteins. Sprinkle in the yellow, sprinkle in the gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free processed foods because, you know, we're here, we have to live. Sometimes you need ice cream for breakfast. It's just one of those days. And then you just sprinkle in and you don't fear those red ones. You just eat a little bit of it because this is a lifestyle. You're going to live like this for the rest of your life. A lot of people ask me, they go, Janine, do I have to do this diet like for the rest of my life? I'm like, well, yeah, because I don't think that we ever get rid of the virus fully. I don't know though. All I know is that I don't have any symptoms and there is no way that I'm going to test that by eating gluten. Now, I can accidentally eat dairy or something with an egg baked into it and I don't get symptoms, which is why I tell people you don't have to set the clock back to the, we always mark down the gluten with the clients. We always mark down the gluten, but we don't mark down the dairy or the eggs because what I found is that it's the gluten that feeds it feverishly. And now I'm getting off on a tangent. Okay, it's already 5:30. Let me get to the detours. Let me just finish the questions because there's a lot in here. Natalie says, I know you mentioned the diarrhea slows, but what reaction will I have with the cleaning of my gut? What is the reaction of the heavy metal detox smoothie? That's a great question. So the heavy metal detox smoothie is not going to behave like the celery juice. The celery juice is like no other. It kills the virus on contact. So if you have the virus in your gut lining, you will get the diarrhea. But if you don't get the diarrhea, it doesn't mean it didn't find the virus. It just means that the virus isn't here. Once it finds it in your organs, it doesn't have a light at the end of the tunnel. It has to use your excretory system and your lymphatic system to get that crap out. And so that's not an immediate exit. The heavy metal detox smoothie, many people don't have a reaction to it. It really just infuses your body with antioxidants as those ingredients work together to safely and gently pull out the heavy metals, and they all work together like a team to get them from one end to the other end and out of your body. Now, that being said, everybody is different. So I have had clients where they have been bedridden, very sick for very long, and they have to start very slowly on the heavy metal detox because it's exhausting to them. It is exhausting for their body to do anything more than what it's currently doing to fight the virus. So everyone is different. If you are concerned, if you're one of those people where you're like, yeah, that's me. I've been sick for decades and I need to take it slow. I've had clients who have started, like Ginger's a good example. She's very vocal about her peaks and her valleys. When she first started, 9 months ago, she had to do only a few ounces. I think we started like 1 or 2 ounces of lemon water because even that would affect her. And now she's up to drinking lemon water all day long. So your body responds very quickly to the healing stuff, but you don't know how your body is going to respond in the beginning. So that's why you know yourself. If you've been sick for decades and you're bedridden, start very slowly with each thing and do it, like I said, lemon water and celery juice first, and then make sure you know how that affects you before moving on to the heavy metal detox smoothie. But the heavy metal smoothie is nothing like the celery juice. Nothing. So you don't have to fear that. But if you're one of those people who have been sick for a while and still are bedridden, then just start slowly. It's not going to take you down, though. The celery juice, if you were to start that right away, even 4 or 5 ounces, if you've been sick for decades, yeah, that's going to be a lot for your body to handle because it's working so hard. The virus has had decades to go in and around your organs. It's everywhere, and your immune system is shot, and it doesn't have the resources that it needs to get that dead virus out. That's why you want to go slowly and slowly through the process, and eventually, little by little. Because think about it. Think about this. I love the cleaning lady analogy. Forget the cleaning lady. You're the cleaning lady. You come into your house and you're just freaking exhausted, and you look around and the house is an absolute freaking mess. And you're like, I don't have it in me to clean up. So what do? You take a little bit, you take the corner of the counter and you clean that up, and then you maintain that. Maybe the next day you take 5 minutes and you clean up another section, and then you'll maintain that. Eventually the house is going to get clean, and eventually as it gets clean, you're going to be able to do more and more, and then you're going to start organizing, and then you're going to start decorating. That's how the healing process happens. So you start slow and you work your way through, and everything just compounds and snowballs. I hope that answers your question. I love that everything is identifiable now, Quinn. Exactly, right? It's the information. Once we have that information, we can do anything. Do you have to do the heavy metal detox smoothie every day? No, get on a schedule. Do it regularly, was what I tell people. Regularly. You don't have to go, oh my God, I didn't have it today. I've had it 5, 6 days and then I didn't have. No, pick like 3, 4, 5 days. I have it as breakfast because gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free, it's a hard breakfast, right? Like what's left. So I have it for breakfast. So it's easy for me, and I do like it. But if it's something that, you're not looking forward to, you don't have to do it every day. You just have to do it on a regular basis because we live on this planet on a regular basis and we come in contact with heavy metals. So maybe in the beginning, you're doing it more days, and then as your symptoms subside, you're doing it less days. But I'll never be without that heavy metal smoothie, and I like it, so I do it. I'll probably skip a day or two here or there, maybe just one day. Maybe I'll have it at night. But yeah, no, I always have it. Why did this go all the way down? Okay, I'm back up. Okay. Oh, I read Natalie's already. Natalie, not Natalie. Oh, who's it? Victoria? Oh, I missed it. All right. Here we go. Rhonda. Oh, Rhonda Dodson. I love when you post. Last week I was tired. I took my temperature. I had a fever. So I tested myself for COVID. It was positive. Ah, shit, Rhonda, I'm sorry. So it wasn't MS. It was a virus, and it was horrible. The worst sore throat of my life. I recovered after only a week because my immune system was able to beat it. A week. That's it. A week. You had COVID and you recovered in a week. Now, Rhonda is the one who we did an interview. She's like, oh, protocol to kill the virus? I'm going to do it. And she did it, and she healed her symptoms. She's amazing. So Rhonda, yes, COVID got in your body. COVID hated your body. There wasn't a lot of food for it to survive on. It hated your body. So it was like, I can't live here. Oh my God, I'm being killed left and right by this goddamn immune system, and I can't do anything because there's no food. I can't even feed myself. And she healed in a week. Of course you did. I'm so glad you shared that. Thank you. Because healing from MS is a virus, just like healing from COVID, just like healing from the flu. COVID and the flu are not very smart viruses, right? They're our immune system can easily see them. The Epstein-Barr virus, very smart little fucker. It produces a smoke screen, and that smoke screen prevents our immune system from being able to see it, so it can't ever attack it. It knows it's there. Our immune system knows it's there, but that smoke screen prevents the immune system from being able to see it. Not a lot of viruses. I don't know of any other virus that acts that way. Kind of like an octopus in the ocean that gets away from its predators by inking. That's what this virus does. That's why they say it's a very smart fucker, and it's very hard to kill if you don't know what you're doing. And it will take you down because even the dead virus is a toxin, neurotoxin, dermatoxin. Not like COVID. The dead COVID virus doesn't cause much damage at all. So, Rhonda, congratulations, and thank you for sharing that story. Oh, ginger. Yeah, actually, okay. Ginger. Yes, I've had to, wait, it just jumped. Yes, I've had to stop you didn't finish. I'm today because it made me sick halfway through my bottle yesterday and I'm still feeling yucky. Okay, good. So you stopped. I don't know if you meant the heavy metal. I'm assuming you meant the celery juice because I think you were just getting started on the celery juice. So that was perfect. You're like, it made me sick halfway through. Let me listen to my body and stop it. Never should you go, I don't care how my body's feeling. Let me power through. Don't power through. You're going to bring yourself so far back that it's going to be very hard to get ahead again. So we don't want to go 5 steps back or 2 steps forward, 5 steps back. We want to make sure that we're going 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's how we kind of mitigate those peaks and valleys so we don't get too far down and too exhausted. It takes us too long to get out of them. No, lemon water. Oh, lemon water. Okay, Ginger wasn't even talking about the celery juice. Perfect, the lemon water. Ginger, that's a lot of people are like that too. I'm glad you listened to yourself. So you're going to be one of those that starts slowly. You start with the lemon water, couple ounces. You see how it makes your body feel, and you did perfectly. You're like, all right, it's making me sick. It was making her sick because it was killing the virus too quickly. Her body is very sensitive. So, and it's been sick for a very long time. So it is going to take a while for the body to be able to have the energy to get rid of that dead virus so you can't kill it too fast. Ginger, that was perfect, and thank you for sharing that. Rhonda says EVV is sneaky, but we are on to its antics. Yes, we are, aren't we? I fucking love it. We can see it now. We can see it, and now we know how to kill it. Okay, I think I got everything. All right, so I didn't talk about the detours, so I'm just going to talk about it real quick and probably do another video on it because a lot of people think, you know what, I'm going to do that. But real quick, because I told you I was going to do it. Detours. Your body will always take a detour around the scar. Your body's always going to take the detour. Unless you're dead, the body is always looking for a way to get the signal from your brain to wherever it was supposed to go, let's say down to your toes. If you have a scar there, that means right now, if the body's too tired, it stops at the scar, which is why when they say relapsing, remitting, sometimes you recover, sometimes you don't. As you go through this, when you get diagnosed, as you get older and your body gets more tired from dealing with the virus, your liver gets backed up from all the shit that's being put inside your body can no longer find detours. That's why relapsing, remitting, it hits the scar and it goes around, and then you're like, and then it continues because it found a plan B, a plan C. When your body gets tired, too tired, it hits the scar and it stops. And then you don't recover. And that's the second part of MS, where they say primary progressive. You don't heal from your exacerbations. You might, your leg might go paralyzed and it will never come back. That's not the case at all. That just means your body is too tired to get the signal to take a detour around. So we have to get our bodies in a place where it's not fighting a virus 24/7, and after that has the energy to make the detours. Because like I said, I had multiple clients who healed all of their symptoms, but then went, wait a second, why can't I use my legs the way I used to? If all my drop foot is gone, like everything is gone, what's wrong? The reason is you're not giving your body enough of that energy. I would talk to them and they say, well, I'm barely drinking any water because I'm too busy, and I don't eat a lot of fruits and vegetables because I just don't have the time. Once they increase the water and the fruits and vegetables, the body had the energy to create the detour, because it's not easy. Especially in the beginning, it is not easy, which is why when I started healing, I would get my legs back. And then I'm like, oh my God, my legs came back. I can feel my legs. I can walk again. And then I would get sick with either the cold or let's say the flu. I would lose my legs every single time. And I never understood why. It's because my body was still creating the detour, and it was too tired when it was fighting the flu or was fighting a cold. It was too tired to take that detour, so it would hit the scar and it would stop. Eventually, that detour became the primary route. So now I can get sick, I can get the flu, and the first time I got the flu was probably like, I don't know, somewhere around 10 years ago. I got the flu and I didn't lose my legs. And I was the happiest flu patient ever. I felt like death, but I was so freaking happy because I was walking around feeling like death. I could feel my legs, I could walk again, and I didn't lose them. And then from then on out, I knew, all right, something's going on here. Now I have the knowledge and the language to put to why. So when you're sick like that, your body is too tired to take that detour, but eventually that detour becomes the primary route, and that scar, that lesion, it doesn't even matter if it's there or not because the body went around it, which is why they don't tell you. One more thing, I know I'm getting long-winded here, but one more thing is very interesting that I found out much later on in my healing process. Myelin regenerates itself. Very few things in our body regenerate itself. Myelin, once it's scarred, it can absolutely regenerate itself to a healthy myelin again that's able to conduct signals. But guess what? Your body's like, I don't need to utilize all of those time and resources and energy to rebuild the myelin, because that takes a lot of work. What I can do is just create a detour around it. Your body's always going to take the most efficient way to heal something. So sure, it can absolutely rebuild that myelin, but it doesn't need to. It could just create the detour, which is a lot easier. So that's how your body works. Give it the tools, kill the virus, help your body out, and your body is always going to heal. It can't not heal. Everybody heals from this because it is just a virus. And the medical industry is finally recognizing this. They haven't put it in medical journals yet saying Epstein-Barr is the cause, but you're seeing that information is leaking out saying that there are links to the Epstein-Barr virus being responsible for autoimmune, right? So is it still autoimmune? Like, that's what I want to ask them. Is it still, is your body automatically attacking itself if you can see that it's now attacking a virus? All right, I can go off on that too, but I'm not going to. All right, so, oh, you're welcome, Pam. Pam said thank you for this. Down with COVID, struggling to walk. Okay, Pam, I'm so glad you saw this. You're struggling to walk. You have COVID. God, I remember being in your shoes where I'm like, I can't believe this is my fucking life. Not only do I have MS, but now I have the flu, your case COVID, and I can't walk again. Is my walking going to come back? Why can't I walk? I was able to walk before I got sick. Now you can calm all of that down in your brain and be like, all right, well, not only is my body dealing with the Epstein-Barr virus, but it's also dealing with the COVID virus, and that's got to be a lot for my body. So you know what? If you don't have the time and resources to get that signal to where it goes, and you need all of that energy to kill the virus so you can't utilize it, getting the signal down to my legs, that's okay. I don't need my legs right now. You deal with the virus. When I get my legs back, I will help you fight the Epstein-Barr virus too, body. You just take care of what you need to take care of right now. And just know your body's fighting a few viruses right now. And that's why you're so tired, and that's why you can't use your legs. They will absolutely come back. So I'm glad you wrote that, and I hope that I've said all of that. She goes, I've said all of that. Okay, good. And sometimes it helps and sometimes it doesn't, because sometimes you're like, I don't fucking care. I feel like shit and I can't walk. Give yourself those moments too. Give yourself some grace. You know, if you have to be in the fetal position just crying for a couple minutes in order to talk yourself out of it later, I totally get that, because I've been there many, many times. So Pam, let me know how you're doing, and I wish you speedy recovery. Dee says, yes, our bodies know how to heal. They absolutely do. Quinn says they've probably known for a long time. The medical industry, right? They've probably known for a long time. Now the scheme to keep the money coming. Yeah, I know. That could be a whole nother video. My God, could that be a whole nother video? I really try not to get into those conspiracy theories, but it's very hard to think that, whatever, with the pharmaceuticals and them making money and keeping us sick, like, that's just like shit. Like, how can anyone live with themselves? How can anyone live with themselves knowing that everybody is sick and they're making money off of it, and they had the cure for years. The cure was learn how to eat. Let's teach them how to eat. Let's teach them about how the body works so that they can heal themselves. But instead they're like, no, you know what? Let's keep them sick. We make a lot more money when they're sick. That fucking sucks, and it's hard for me to go there, so I don't. We're always talking about mindset in the group coaching. Swiping through the negative thoughts and focusing on the positive thoughts, kind of like you do on TikTok, right? You swipe up on the videos you don't like and you heart the ones that you do like. So the algorithm shows you more of what you do like. That's what I like to do. But every now and then I like to indulge in one of those videos. Every now and then I like to indulge in those thoughts and be like, yeah, fuckers, are you kidding me? How do you live with yourselves? We should do a live on that together. We should all get together in a room. Never mind. No, we shouldn't. That would be bad. They don't care, Keisha says. Yeah, exactly. All right. It's 5:49. I swore I was going to try to get to these live at 5s a half an hour, because I feel like it's such a commitment. Oh, Janine's on. Oh, I don't have an hour. I want to get them down to a half an hour. I'm going to start like chunking down the information, and I thought I did that today, but I'm Italian. I just can't stop talking. So, all right, guys. thank you for this. I think someone gave me the idea to do this Live at 5. If you have any questions, if you want a specific Live at 5 topic talked about, feel free to post it in the group. And the enrollments, I'm going to keep open for a little bit longer because people are still trickling in, and I know a lot of people want to still come in. So if you want to come into the Path to Healing program, the enrollment is still open, which is why it's on the website. So anytime you go to mindingyoursoul.com and it's up there, then you know it's still open. I'll take it down once it's closed. Or maybe I won't close it. Maybe I'll just add more days to it. I'm toying with some changes. There's going to be some changes coming. So as Jackson becomes, as it gets easier, like the first year of a new child is just fucking hell, right? So now that he's a year old, I feel like, okay, like let me get back to like being creative and doing some stuff. So you're going to see some changes soon. Any questions, let me know. You can still post this if you're watching, post your questions in the comments. If you're watching the recording, you can still post your questions because I still get notifications and I can still answer them. Hope everybody is doing well. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you. If I don't see you before, I'll see you next week on the Live at 5. All right. Have a great night, everyone. It's good to talk to you. Bye.